Welcome to my post-debate election predictions, so let's start. And there we go, these are the safe states already filled in, and let's start off with the likely states. So for Florida, if you have noticed, I actually had this in my last prediction as a safe margin, but I'm just more unsure whether this will be a likely margin or a safe victory for Donald Trump. It's gonna go Republican either way, but we haven't gotten any new polling, unfortunately. We've only gotten more polling from swing states, and we're almost oh no, we're actually less than 50 days away from the election. Haven't seen much. I mean, I could see, I don't know what will happen, but I'm kind of torn between going back and forth between safe and likely margin victory for Trump here. But for now, I'm going to have this as a Trump victory by guessing 9 to 11%. It's just difficult to predict with the Latino vote, and that's something I'm going to talk about later, but I'm going to keep this as a 10% margin victory for Trump in this prediction. And now let's go to Iowa. So if you checked out my community post recently, a few days ago, Ann Seltzer, one of the most accurate pollsters in Iowa, finally did a new poll just around the time of the debate. And as you can see, it only has Trump by 4% win here. If you remember back in 2020 when they did a poll around this same time, in 2020 they had this as a tight race. I don't know if it's, that's October, but I don't know if it's going to show here. There we go. So Seltzer at this time in the 2020 election had Biden winning. Oh, no, I shouldn't say Biden winning, but had this as a tight race. So I do expect for Trump to do better in the last polling that Seltzer will do, because if Seltzer did one right here, I think, and it swung from an even race to a 7% victory for Trump. So I expect something like that to happen. Don't know by how much. I still think Trump's gonna win here by a likely margin, of course, but it's not gonna be a safe margin in my opinion because of the state of the race right now and probably in the coming weeks. But anything can happen though, don't forget that. And now let's go to Texas. And in the state of Texas, we've had some reports from some of the campaign manager from Trump, kind of like dissing Ted Cruz in the Senate race, one of the campaign managers from Donald Trump's campaign, which is kind of crazy. They shouldn't even talk about that publicly, saying that Ted Cruz might need to be saved. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know. Yeah, we got these polls. The latest one's still Emerson. I don't think we've gotten a new one yet, if I'm not mistaken, from post-debate, I should say. I don't think much has changed in the state, and I still think Trump will win here, of course. We haven't gotten a new one, so I think there's not much to talk here. I still think it's going to be a Trump victory by guessing like 8-ish% as of now. I don't know what the exact margin will be, but I'm guessing around that margin. So I'll go back to New Mexico, but for Maine at large and the 2nd district, of course, we can just check real quick if there's been any new polls, which I don't think there has, but let me check real quick just in case I am mistaken, because we all make mistakes. Nothing new, so I'm just going to put this as my last prediction from a few weeks ago. Maine at large goes to Harris by an easy margin, and the 2nd district probably goes by a similar margin as 2020, or around that margin, I should say. And now for New Mexico. So, I've come to think more about the Latino vote and how that could affect Harris, and that's something that I'm not sure how Latinos will turn out for Harris, especially in the Southwest. And we got this one from Albuquerque Journal, which was polled right before and after the debate. Not a well-known pollster, but it has Harris by 10, which could happen. I still think she's probably going to underperform Biden. But as you can see, there's 5% undecided voters. Who knows where these voters are going to go to. So I'm kind of torn, but I could actually see maybe this race going down to, I don't think Lindy, but I don't think that's going to happen. We can go here, 2020, 10% margin victory. 2016, 8.2. I think she probably does as good as Hillary, or maybe even worse. I'm guessing like 7 to 9% victory for Harris here. And now, back to the Rust Belt. So for Ohio, as many of you know, the home state of J.D. Vance. We've also had, Springfield, of course, is having that issue with, can't really talk too much about that. Oh, man, I'm trying not to say something that could get me in trouble. Springfield, yeah, so, all the bum threats from Pet Stories. Yeah, I'm just going to say that, Pet Stories. Right here, the latest poll, Emerson, was Morning Consult Emerson, so we haven't gotten new polls, which is shouldn't be a surprise since Ohio won't be close. I think it's probably gonna be a repeat of 2020. Like I've said before, not much has changed. I think the debate, I don't think anyone won it decisively, but I think Trump really needed to do better, and he couldn't really land the punches, in my opinion. I think he could have done better for sure, and the fact that he's not gonna go into another debate, I understand from his point of view, but he should try at least one more debate, because Vance, I don't think is gonna do too good against Walz. But yeah, you know what? Let's go to Alaska. Yes, or I should say Virginia. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go to Virginia first. So Virginia, as many of you know, this polling cycle, there's always that state that for some reason polling shows it to be way closer than anticipated. Every single election year, there's always that one state. But this one, it's Virginia. And we got these polls, but still not too many post-debate polls from what I've seen. I can try looking on 538 real quick, as I'm doing right now. Because, if it works, there we go. Virginia estimate right there. Washington Post, it's fine. They have this as a Harris victory by 8%. And, I think she wins it by a likely margin. I'm not sure she's going to do as good as Biden 2020. I don't think she's going to do as bad as Harris. I should say Kamala. Sorry about that. I think she's going to win here by 7 to 9%, around that margin. Not too big of a deal here. Now, these are I think Florida was really a state that was almost safe, as I was saying. Then these states are probably going to be safe in the likely category. Now these states could drop into the lean category easily. And let's start off, New Hampshire first. Yeah, New Hampshire. As many of you know, if you check my community post, sorry for shouting it out so much, but there's a lot of news going there. The Trump campaign has shown that in reports that they are not as involved in New Hampshire. They don't think they have a big chance of winning against Harris, which should ring the alarms for Republicans in the state, especially in the governor race. But there's not a governor video, so New Hampshire, it's not looking good for Republicans and Donald Trump. We got St. Anselm, the college survey right here, showing an 8% victory for Harris, which is pretty good for her, since the college survey is pretty good, an accurate pollster for New Hampshire. I'm not saying it's amazing, but it's pretty decent. I'd say myself, as alongside University of New Hampshire, both of these are pretty good, and that's an 8% victory. And with Trump not putting as many resources into New Hampshire, this is one of those states that's going to go from a lean D category from my last video into a likely D margin this time. And yeah, let's go to Alaska this time around. So Alaska, we actually had a new poll from an okay pollster. I think they're A/B rated in Alaska. Alaska survey has Trump only winning here by 5%. I don't think it's going to drop below that margin into the lean category, but I could see this maybe dropping and only being, not dropping, but being a margin of victory for Trump by maybe 6 to 8%. So yeah, barely a likely victory for Trump here, and same margin for Harris as of now. And now for Minnesota and the 2nd District of Nebraska. As I said before, home state of let's say Tim Walz gives a lot of advantage to Harris in here in Minnesota and the 2nd District. I don't think we got a new poll. We got telegraphs showing a Harris victory by 7. Well, let's see if Nebraska. Nebraska right here has by 5. Still an old poll though. Post debate, not too much of a change in these two areas. I think Harris will win here by a likely margin, probably, and I don't think that really changes a lot. But yeah, that's it for the likely states, and as you can see, it's still really close, and these are really the final states. And let's go to the lean ones. So first of all, I think North Carolina, kind of like I've said before, North Carolina and Georgia showing to be more closer than anticipated for sure. And if we go to North Carolina in the polling, if it shows, you know what, I'm just gonna go right here. My eye was itchy, so that's why you can see, you know, aggregate pollsters are saying one person will win, the other one will win. But we got this poll actually from both Trafalgar, which is I would say a bit off to the right, and especially polling in presidential races. Don't ask about midterm. Don't trust their midterm races, man. Don't trust them. But for the TIPP poll, it has Trump only winning here by 3%. I know there's still some undecided voters, but I think that's pretty good news for Trump, that even though he's not winning by a lot, a 3% margin still enough for him to win, and I don't think it's gonna drop off to a tilt category as I thought it could. And I'm gonna keep this in the lean margin category by 1 to 3%. Now for Michigan, the easiest state, in my opinion, for Harris to win. I don't see her losing it unless Trump gets close to winning the popular vote. Trying to poke my eye out. Yeah, as you can see, we got this one from an R-related pollster, which is not too, I don't trust him too much. We got Mitchell Research, which, to be honest, is the first time I've even heard about him. I think the Rust Belt, as of now, it's looking good for Harris. I think she wins here by 1 to 3%. Not too much of a change from pre-debate to post-debate. But yeah, we will see what will happen. But, you know, Trump really, in my opinion, should debate Harris again. But who knows what will happen. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes, that's it for the lean states, actually. Yep. So these 5 states right here, complete toss-ups. I wouldn't say complete, but they're near toss-ups. So let's go with Wisconsin. I don't want to spoil too much. Wisconsin, pre-debate, post-debate, not too many changes. Polling-wise, we've only gotten this Insider Advantage poll. Even they show, for some reason, I don't know why Wisconsin polls are like this, though. They show Democrats overperforming, and that's why, I don't know. That always happens, so don't trust them too much. Yeah, nothing else. Still think it's gonna be extremely close. Not extremely, but narratively close. I think Wallace does help Harris in Wisconsin in this area of the Rust Belt, and she probably wins here by around the same margin as Biden. I think this election in November is going to be extremely close, and it's probably going to be as close as 2020 yet again, so expect that to happen again. And yeah, let's see. Nevada. Let's go to Georgia. Not Nevada first. So Nevada. So this is a state that so much has happened the last few months, from Trump on a live attempt to RFK dropping out, debates, Biden dropping out. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. But yeah, we haven't got a new poll as of now for Nevada, so I still think that someone who's Hispanic, I have thought about how turnout could be with Latinos, and I'm not saying that every single Latino is not going to vote for Harris. I think there will be a minority of voters that won't turn out as much for a African American woman. I don't see that. I know there's some issues within race, within Latinos, so I think that could be it, but I don't know what's going to happen. Still, I think Trump will flip this state from 2020. It's going to be very close. And yeah, so let's go to Arizona. Now we're in the toss-up category. Arizona, extremely hard to tell what's going to happen. Carrie Lake, Senate race, she's going to lose by almost, maybe even 10%. There's an abortion amendment, or I should say abortion on the ballot, which could help Democrats quite a lot. Issue is Harris is more to the left than Biden, but Trump is not really suited for this state, so this would have been an amazing state for a third party to do quite well in. We got this poll from Trafalgar. It does show almost a 2% victory for Trump. I don't think they were pretty accurate in 2020, but they absolutely broke their neck in 2022. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a lean margin victory, but I think this can be a more flip from my last video actually. I'm gonna go with my gut because my gut does usually better at predicting things from what I've noticed from 2022 and 2020. Just gotta follow my gut, and that's really what I'm gonna choose from the next coming weeks. And I think Trump barely wins the state by a extremely close margin, within 0.5%. It's gonna be extremely close, but yeah. Now to Georgia. So this is a state that I've seen more polling go towards Harris in the last month, I should say, ever since Biden dropped out. And the trends do favor Democrats quite a lot. I don't know how she's going to do with whites, but I expect her to do better with African American voters, of course. And those trends will likely be good enough for Harris. I think she's keeping up. We're less than 50 days away from the election, and she's doing quite well. I'm not saying amazing, but she's not in the Biden bunker moment like he was. So that's why I'm actually, post-debate, I think she narrowly wins the state by probably like a 0.5 to 0.75 margin. We could see maybe go to the left of 2020, of course. And I think, the demographics right now really favor her. And yeah, I think she probably will be able to flip it. So, or I should say win it. And that's a flip for my last prediction. And now for Pennsylvania. Who knows what's going to happen? It's extremely polarized. It's the most important state by far in this election. Please tell me you got a new poll from Pennsylvania. Come on, there's no way. I know there was so many polls the last week, so come on. Really? Oh my god, we don't got a new poll, but extremely close. It's gonna be the tilting factor for whoever wins it. I think if Trump wins it, he wins the election probably. If Harris wins it, she wins the election. And as of now, do have Harris narrowly winning the state. It's gonna be extremely close, but she does, she's visiting the state more than Trump. Trump is not really doing as much rallies. Immigration is another issue for Harris in Arizona. I think that also helps him. But back to Pennsylvania, I think she narrowly wins the state. As you can see, I have Harris winning with 286 electoral votes, while Trump gets 252 electoral votes in my post-debate map. Let me know what your map looks like. Feel free to leave a like, share and subscribe, and leave a comment. Bye!